If you watch this video, mostly probably you're into exploring mysteries of our planet. Today we're going to discuss mysterious objects, which happen to appear in the skies. Nobody is certain about their nature, that's why we'll try to conduct our little independent investigation. I suggest you do it together on this top, so let's dive into this and don't forget to write your ideas about the following objects. First observed in 1643, the Ashen light of Venus is a phenomenon that lights up the dark side of the planet, making it visible to observers looking through telescopes. Indeed, the very existence of the Ashen light is up for scientific debate. It has been described as being similar to Earthshine, which occurs when sunlight reflected from the Earth illuminates the dark parts of the Moon. However, this explanation doesn't make sense with Venus, because it has no large orbiting body nearby. Astronomers have tried to photograph the Ashen light, but sightings are so unusual and random that all attempts so far have failed. Many have given up trying to prove that the phenomenon exists. Even so, there are hundreds of reports of the Ashen light, from modern amateur stargazers to the 17th century astronomer Giovanni Battista Riccioli. This glow is so elusive and contested that it has been called the Loch Ness of Venus. This phenomenon can be noticed only in the summer night. Silver clouds got their name due to the flickering effect in the twilight sky. Silvery clouds form in the mesosphere, a rarefied upper atmosphere with a small amount of moisture and low temperatures at an average height of 82 kilometers. The nature of this phenomenon has not been fully studied, however, scientists suggest that clouds form due to scarce water vapor, which freezes, creating crystals. Since the mesosphere is the coldest in summer, such clouds are observed precisely in this season. The reason this phenomenon is not well understood is that the history of these clouds is relatively young. For the first time they were reported in 1885, and immediately scientists began to talk about the fact that they could appear due to climatic changes. For years scientists believed that these skies form exclusively in polar regions. Nevertheless, British residents were lucky to watch this beautiful phenomenon, although it is quite unusual for these places. Silvery clouds are studied by scientists, both from the Earth and from space, since they are quite high. However, to understand the true cause of the phenomenon, specialists still have a lot of work to do. Have you ever asked yourself, if it's possible that we live in a binary solar system with two suns as well? In fact, binary star systems are common in the galaxy. It is estimated that 1/3 of the stars in the Milky Way are either binary or part of a multiple star system. But what about the Earth and our galaxy? Recent discoveries point to the existence of an old brown dwarf. Our solar system is surrounded by a vast collection of icy bodies called the Oort cloud. If our Sun were a part of a binary system, in which two gravitationally bound stars orbit a common center of mass, this interaction could disturb the Oort cloud on a periodic basis, sending comets whizzing towards us. So, scientists are still doubtful. Someone will probably say that these flashes are nothing but lightning bolts. However, it's impossible, because the nearest lightning strike was hundreds of miles away. The story starts when a father and his daughter were taking the trash out Sunday evening at their Bethel home. As they were crossing the front house garden, the girl drew her father's attention to strange flashes in the skies. Both of them were completely baffled. The video shows the skies coloring very suddenly like dusk, fireworks or lightning. But the weird phenomenon wasn't associated with any sounds. The family first thought it could have been an explosion. The father was in the military and said such bright lights are similar to what you could see and experience in the military. Claremont County Emergency Management and Bethel Police had no explanations, but received plenty of reports about the flash. Duke Energy spokesman says that 584 customers lost power for 2 minutes just before 7 p.m. There's no chance that it was a meteor. The point is that it would flash above the clouds rather than below. Here's why this flash in the sky of Bethel, Ohio still remains a mystery. Once in November, residents of Southern California flooded social media with posts, wondering about a mysterious flash of light seen in the skies. Most of the witnesses described the phenomenon as an explosion in the early morning sky. Whatever it was, law enforcement agencies throughout the region aren't saying anything. What happened in the skies over California? According to the local magazine, the phenomenon was seen throughout Southern California, with residents posting from Long Beach to San Diego and as far inland as Riverside. Whatever the event was, it must have been large. Just a few days prior, 2 separate drivers in Arizona were shaken up when unidentified falling objects struck their vehicles, shattering one sunroof and damaging the windshield of another. Both drivers suspected meteorites, but some astronomers aren't convinced. A similar event happened in San Diego the same day, with 2 cars sustaining damage from mysterious falling rocks. One driver was injured when one of those rocks hit him in the chest. The California Highway Patrol found no pedestrians nearby and considers the incident a mystery. There are lots of questions about these events. Can they be connected or not? With no official explanation, this issue is still up for debate. What about you? Have you ever experienced rocks falling from the skies? Recently, the immensely eye-catching object was explored in space. Its form reminds of a puff of tobacco smoke. This phenomena got the working title ORCs, which stands for Odd Radio Circles. But the big question, of course, is, what are they? This discovery was done with the use of the Australian New Revolutionary Telescope. At first, scientists suspected an imaging artifact, perhaps generated by a software error. But they soon confirmed they are real, using other radio telescopes. Researchers still have no idea how big or far away they are. They could be objects in our galaxy, perhaps a few light-years across, or they could be far away in the universe and maybe millions of light-years across. Several possibilities for what ORCs might be have already been offered and discussed in the scientific community. Actually, most variants were rejected. For example, ORCs can be supernova remnants, rings of radio emission, giant lobes of radio emission, or even Einstein rings. But nobody knows for sure what it's. Just imagine yourself warm breeze, seething ocean waves, soft sand beneath your feet, sun, laying down below the horizon. But this idyllic image unexpectedly destroys by the emergence of an odd green flash near the sun. What can it be? It appears at the tip-top of the sunrise just before it breaches the horizon, or it is seen as the last hint of the sun setting on the horizon. It is most commonly reported at sunset, but is actually just as possible to view at either sunrise or sunset. This truly is a unique effect to witness. During that split second is when the momentary flash of green appears. Some have reported seeing more than one green flash less than a second apart from each other. It is also possible to see it when the sun is rising or setting over a mountain or even a cloud. However, the most common place to see a green flash is at sea, when the wide open water and clear skies offer a horizon ideal for catching this rare atmospheric phenomenon. Basically, it is best seen when you have a distant and distinct cloud-free horizon. Interestingly, if a planet such as Venus or Jupiter is observed through a telescope, viewed as it sets below the horizon, a greenish refracted light effect is seen. The setting planet appears to turn reddish-orange as it sets on the horizon, just as the sun does, and at the last seconds appears greenish at its tip-top. This visual effect lasts for a 20 arc-second band and for about 1.4 seconds of time as measured by atmospheric optics. I suppose the most frightening object is that, which exists, but literally can't be seen by human vision. The same happened with a group of people in Texas. In their footage, they used an infrared-sensitive third-generation night vision camera and posted this video on YouTube. According to Ishmael Queller, founder of the Laredo Paranormal Research Society, the infrared-cloaked object could not be seen with the naked eye, and cruised silently. They have ruled out birds, bugs, airplanes, helicopters, and even flying drones by comparing them side by side as a point of reference. This seems to leave just one explanation. Most probably it's a cloaked alien spaceship. At the same time, Ben McGee, a geoscientist, aerospace consultant, UFO skeptic and lead field researcher on the National Geographic series Chasing UFOs, doesn't agree with such a controversial opinion. To his mind, all the signs point to this object being a Border Patrol drone with infrared anti-collision or identification lights. Here's why he thinks so. Nearly one-third of traffic through the nearby Laredo International Airport has historically been military in nature. Laredo is very near to the Mexican border. The military is increasingly using drones to assist with border security, which are small, quiet, and dim to the naked eye. Nights are always covered with mysteries. And one of them is odd unidentified lights in the skies of Queensland and Northern Territory. One of the witnesses commented it like that: "It was quite a bright, unusual light with a tail on it. It was traveling northeast, and we watched it for probably 2 or 3 minutes before it faded out." All in all, hundreds of people were left mystified and confused. However, John D. Horner, astrophysics professor of University of Southern Queensland, doesn't believe in mystifications. On the one hand, it could be a meteor. But after looking at the footage, it turned out that it couldn't be a meteor, as the object wasn't something in the Earth's atmosphere at all. On the other hand, this light looked similar to a spaceship. Interestingly, earlier today India launched its second moon mission, so it seems a really good bet that this was that rocket, engaging its engine to move towards the moon. Nevertheless, it isn't still clear whether it's the Indian spaceship or UFO. There have been no official explanations yet. Lightning may flash on Earth about 100 times per second, but much remains a mystery about it. Scientists have discovered many strange forms of lightning over the years, everything from fiery orbs to jellyfish-shaped bursts of light. But, without any doubt, the weirdest ones are blue jets, elves, and sprites. Sprites are a mysterious form of lightning that dances near the edge of space. They are reddish bursts of electricity at altitudes of about 50 miles that last less than a second, but are bright enough to see in daylight. These enigmas are often shaped like jellyfish, starting as balls of light that rapidly stream downward, but can also look like crowns or carrots. Like sprites, elves are reddish, ultra-fast bursts of electricity bright enough to see during the daytime high in the Earth's atmosphere. But elves are ring-shaped halos that can spread to more than 185 miles wide. Scientists first captured images of elves and sprites, dancing above thunderstorms in the late 80s and early 90s. As for blue jets, they're cones of blue light brighter than sprites that spray upward from the tops of thunderclouds up to an altitude of about 25 miles at speeds of about 36,000 kilometers per hour. Notably, all of these phenomena still remain a mystery due to the difficulty of research processes. Blue atmospheric phenomena are hard to study from the ground, because the atmosphere is good at scattering blue light. They're also very narrow and rare. Moreover, there aren't any perfect conditions for regular emergence of blue jets, elves, and sprites on the Earth. Our top has come to an end. Actually, there are plenty of other unexplained strange objects in the skies, which you could have noticed. Let's discuss your experience in the comments. The best stories will be certainly looked through and liked. Also, don't forget that there are still many odd objects, which can seem to be unexplained at first sight. However, be critical at least from times to times and try to check up all the facts you haven't been aware of. See you soon.